Sauce it or toss it. Sauce it or toss it. Sauce it or toss it.
I quite enjoyed your roster here for Sauce It and Toss It this week.
Uh-huh.
But there are, as he giggles and eats his chocolate, I will say there are a couple questions that you've put in so that you can chime in on them, and I'm putting a 30-second shot clock on you for those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem.
Because there's a couple I'm like, that's an Arash question.
24-second shot clock, actually. Violation. Traveling. All right, sauce it or toss it. Ryan. Oh, God, that's a good chocolate. Ryan. After the Matt Barzal injury, the Canucks look like they've single-handedly won the Horvat trade for the time being. Ryan, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm not quite ready to sauce that because for the time being, they look like they've... No, I will toss it. I will toss it immediately because the whole thing was if they don't make the playoffs or they become, they pick past 12th overall, the pick goes to next year. And then the Canucks get a first round in 2024 when quite possibly the New York Islanders could be healthy. They could have a whole year, under Horvat. They could make some lineup changes that for the better, and it could be an even higher pick next year. So I am tossing it. I want the pick this year in the deeper draft, and I want the Canucks to have a 13th to 16th overall draft pick, and Barzal going down is not good for that.
Well done. I'm so proud of you. Good. That's the proper answer. Number 2, Ryan Bartholomew shout. Patrick Kane is going into God mode to ruin the Hawks' lottery chances strictly in order to be dealt.
I'm going to sauce it. He looks like a completely different player, and he is an entitled, privileged boy from Buffalo that's always got whatever he's wanted, and he is clearly pissed right off that whoever is running the Blackhawks is dragging their heels and not making this deal happen, and he wanted to go to the Rangers. And he looks different. There is a different energy to him. So I'm saucing it. He is putting it on his back and the team on his back. And maybe it's to inflate his trade value, or maybe it's just to like, hey, you better start trading me because I'm putting 5 goals up in 2 games. I will beat I'll beat the Maple Leafs myself. Sauce it.
Yeah, I'm marveling at I think after seeing Ryan O'Reilly go to Toronto and Tarasenko go to the Rangers, I'm like, this is the only way. He needs to call their bluff and be like, okay, y'all want to fuck around and find out, know what Patty Kane's all about? Okay, all right.
I'm an awful person, but I'm really good at hockey.
Enjoy number 4, who's Matvei Michkov, and you're not going to get him for 9 years. Okay, Ryan, after the O'Reilly trade, the Leafs are set up to be bounced after round 1. I know we touched on this, but what are your vibes?
My heart wants them to, my heart wants the Leafs to win finally. When I was putting together the graphic that appears to my right, that image when they blew it against Boston was 10 years ago. I'm over it. But this is not. I'm saucing it. This is not what the team needs. The team's issue is the carousel of subpar goaltenders, questionable defense, and questionable work ethic. Ryan O'Reilly, the idea is great, but Ryan O'Reilly in practice, I'm not sure. I'm saucing it. I think they would get bounced.
That's a great little insight that the idea of Ryan O'Reilly is actually maybe greater than Ryan O'Reilly right now, which is something that a lot of teams unfortunately fall into, where they fall in love with the idea of a player. They're like, oh yeah, Gary Roberts at 42? Yeah, he's good.
Chuck any age.
Right. Ryan, sorry for this one. Ryan, I'm gonna change this. We're gonna spend an entire episode at least in the next 2 weeks talking about JT Miller somehow. Or are we going to put a memorandum that unless No rumor is going to make us talk about JT.
Arash, I'm going to sauce it because the conversations about JT Miller are not, there's so many talking points.
Mm-hmm.
It's how far he's fallen in the Canucks depth chart in terms of offensive production. It's about his giveaways, his careless game, and the beef that will form with him and Rick Tocchet.
Yeah.
And just his poor play, inconsistent play. So there will be an episode devoted to him again because things aren't going his way. Things aren't going JT Miller's way.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're going to have a really good freak out on the bench breaking sticks, but maybe away from the rink.
I just feel that this might be the energy that I'm getting, and I hope it's where we're going. That the management, over seeing how Quinn and Elias have been playing, like the truth does officially cement that they say, oh, we thought this guy was the dog.
Yep.
But actually, no, we got this one wrong. And we have a small window to fix this oversight that we had. I don't fault them for signing the deal. Well, okay, a little bit, but I can understand if they were trepidatious with what Horvat was asking and they thought, oh, okay, this core is going to be Miller, Pettersson, Hughes, Demko, whatever.
Yeah.
But now you're seeing that Elias Pettersson is flirting in the century mark without JT Miller.
Oh, yeah.
And now JT Miller's he's having not quite the season, not really the season he had before. So you have this small window of opportunity that you can cash out. Hopefully, if someone else has to come up and, you're not going to expend draft picks to move that contract. But if someone comes and tells you, hey, we're giving, we have this Sperry Kokniemi, like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go for it. Go for it. Shoot off.
Absolutely.
Okay, Ryan. Okay. I know why you said that thing off the top because you actually didn't watch it. Okay, Ryan. The NHL All-Star Game was better than the NBA All-Star Game this year. Did you watch any highlights of the NBA All-Star Game?
Off the top, I will toss it because I watched the NHL All-Star Game and it was a clunker and boring and a snoozer. And I know that that guy from the 76ers won the dunk contest, but I also know that there was the fantasy draft, and those are all the kind of fun things that the NHL or the NHLPA wants back.
Right.
But I will toss it, and that is nothing could be the NHL All-Star Game. There's nothing it could be more exciting than.
Right.
So I am tossing your statement. Here's your shot clock.
Okay. Both. I'm going to toss it because both the NHL All-Star Game and the NBA All-Star Game sucked. They're both awful. Okay. They're awful things. The only thing the NBA All-Star Game did well was the draft, in which they actually drafted the players right then and there. But I'm tossing it because both these games suck. They're not entertaining. They're not fun. They're not really endearing in any way. And go Birds! Okay,
real quick, was the style of play? Was the play just subpar?
Ryan, it was just like, okay, this is great because I can talk to you about this because you've seen The Last Dance. Remember in The Last Dance when Jordan was talking about like wanting to go one-on-one with Kobe?
Yeah,
during the All-Star game, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take his ass to school." Yeah,
there's still pride there.
All that stuff, and there was that. Okay, this is best on best, and it's like it's fine if this is like a best on best pickup game.
Yeah.
This was just abhorrently like no defense. Like Jason fucking Tatum throwing the ball to himself in a dunk, and I'm like, that's fine, but like what? We're just watching a bunch of kids run around and do shoot around, and I don't know. It was honestly boring and unwatchable. Ryan, Tim Pool is a nerd.
Sauce it.
Sauce it. Fuck, what a nerd. Ryan, a reboot of King of the Hill is what will unite this continent back together.
Another big sauce. We were talking about this over the weekend, and I believe Hulu is starting the reboot. But that is a show that if you slept on in the 90s or the 2000s, go back. It is evergreen. It is topical as hell, and it's aged very, very well. And I think that would be a mammoth hit. Forget about when they brought back Futurama. This would be legit. This would be the bomb.com. Big sauce.
It writes itself. Ryan, we talked about it. You came and you dropped off this amazing Canucks hoodie that we both purchased together for me because you're a loving person. I was thinking like,
hey, hang on. Let me say this. I'm plugging the Patreon, and if we get 3 new backers this week, we'll drink all that pop and eat all those bananas. There is a perk, an unwritten, don't ask, don't tell perk that I offer Patreon backers in the Discord. It saves you some money. Leave it at that. But it's good.
That's a little suspicious and odd, but okay. I hope what you're doing is legal. Then if they reboot King of the Hill,
EGLX.
Yes, EGLX. Thank you, Matt Kerr. God damn it! I should have known Cutco knives isn't a legitimate thing. King of the Hill just writes itself. Like I was thinking after you left, I'm like, okay, so Dale obviously is QAnon. Like he's Q. Like that's the thing. And then we talked.
He was before.
Like yeah, he was before, but like we talked about it at Pomegranate where we're just like riffing where like Bobby brings an amazing like friend over. And then trying to like and being like, oh hey Bobby, who's that? It's like, oh, this is my friend. Their name is such and such, and he's like, oh hello little girl, how you doing? It's like, no Dad, you don't.
The name would be like Jesse. That's
Jesse something,
like
androgynous. And then be like, oh hello little girl, how you doing, Missy? It's like, no Dad, you don't understand it. Their pronouns are they and them. It's like they and them. There's more than one Jesse here? I only see one. Like, it just writes itself, and it doesn't have to be malicious. But it's literally like, fuck, we need this. We need this.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. And then, like, Hank at the end of the episode is like, equates his love for propane and how, like, things are changing, and he might not understand propane and charcoal, but he's like, I still love it, and people still love it, and the only thing that matters is you're good people, and you're also a clean burning fuel. Like, And I'm like, okay, great, love it. That's fantastic.